Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei becomes a destruction dragon part 1. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support the Zavaritia for writing that awesome fanfic and also make sure to comment on this story, link in description. Let's start this video. The sounds of a regular summer day were heard all over as the sun beat down on the city of Tokyo in Japan. Sure is hot. The voice came from a girl who looked to be in elementary school. She had beautiful crimson hair and blue eyes. She was lying on the grass in a large park as another girl, appearing to be her friend, knelt down next to her. Are you not accustomed to the sun? The one who asked that was a girl of the same age, with long black hair and violet eyes. As she said that, the girl with red hair smiled and started to stand up. Yeah, this is one of my first few times leaving my place and coming to this world. It's really beautiful though, Japan that is. Ifufu, but was it a good idea for us to sneak here? Of course. Beelzebub-sama said he wouldn't tell Ani-sama. The girl replied happily. You say that now, but I'm sure your Ani-sama will get answers out of him quite easily. The other girl said while chuckling. All the more reason for us to explore. Let's go. The crimson-haired girl said while grabbing the other's hand and starting to run. As the two began to run around the large park and explore, the girl with crimson hair tripped and fell. She wasn't hurt, but rather, something fell out of her pocket. My evil piece. She exclaimed as she went to grab one, but it started rolling down a hill into a pond. She went to call for her friend, who was running towards her. Riaz, are you? The other girl started. She stopped as Riaz tilted her head in confusion. The girl motioned her to turn around, and when she did, she noticed a boy around their age in front of them. Is this yours? The boy asked, having caught the red-colored object. Oh, a chess piece. The boy was holding what appeared to be a white pawn piece. It looks really cool. The boy said as he handed it to her. Riaz looked up at the boy. Oh, thank you. The wind blew as a man from behind them shouts Issei. Wait up. He smiled as he got up to run over to what appeared to be his father. See you. His father patted his head as the two went to playing again. Oh, she's cute, isn't she? His father tried to tease. Yeah. Issei answered. His father turned around and for some reason bowed to the two girls. May we meet again. The two then went off to play in another part of the park. Riaz looked a bit shocked. Akeno, did you catch that boy's name? She shook her head. The wind blew too hard for me to hear, sorry. Same. Riaz trailed off in a disappointed voice. The two then noticed someone walking up to them from behind. It was a beautiful woman appearing to be in her early 20s, with silver hair and matching eyes. She was wearing a maid's outfit. I've been looking for you too. She said. See, I told you. Akeno teased. Sorry, Wani-sama. Riaz said while bowing her head. No, it's alright. I understand you want to explore at your age, but try to let us know next time. The two then started to follow her and tell her all about their adventure. Oh. I also met this very nice boy. Riaz said with a bright smile. And that is how it all began. 7 years later. Why am I friends with you two again? The one who said this was Issei Haidu. 17 years of age, high school student. He was of average height, had short brown hair and light brown eyes. Currently, Issei was sitting on a hill with two friends beside him. Don't be like that. One shouted next to him. He looked a bit like a jock. You two should really relax, it's making me feel empty. Another said. He looked exactly like a nerd. As if trying to reaffirm the situation, Issei got up and stretched. Mitsuda, Motohama, why did we enroll in this school again? This private school, Kuo Academy, just turned co-ed after being an all-girls school. Mitsuda started. Thus, the school has an overwhelming girls-to-boys ratio, and many beautiful girls from overseas are attending it. Motohama followed. Which makes us boys valuable. That means, we'll be popular without having to lift a finger. You basically can't mess up. In short, we'll get a harem. The two shouted at the top of their lungs. Issei made an awkward sigh. Thought so. Motohama adjusted his glasses. You make it sound like that's not a good thing. Oh, it's definitely a good thing. Issei reaffirmed as he crossed his arms and grinned. However, the three noticed a crowd of girls running by them. It's spring, we're in the second year, and we still haven't had a single girlfriend. Issei said with remorse. Stop saying that, you're making me feel empty. Motohama responded with a sharp voice. Well, at least there aren't many Bishounens to deal with. Mitsuda said. In the rear of the crowd, Issei looked at one of the idols of the school who was in her gym outfit, running. It was a Bishoujo with long blonde hair and grayish blue eyes. Under her left eye was a mole. She was busty, slim, but also had some curves. Mitsuda and Motohama were practically drooling rainbows at her appearance. Yumikiba of Class 2C. The princess of Kuo Academy looking good as always. Motohama exclaimed. Definitely. Mitsuda yelled. Issei made a defeated smile as he hunched over. It's an unfair world at times. Oh, it's time. Mitsuda said with a perverted smile. Murayama's boobs are so big. Mitsuda quietly yelled. She's 8270 to 81. Motohama said with some type of pride. Hadis has great legs. She's 78.565 to 79. Issei was sitting back in the grass a few feet behind them as the two perverts were peeping into a hole in the girls' locker room from the outside. You see, Issei did have a reputation as a bit of a pervert, however it was not how you would think. Rather than Mitsuda and Motohama, who stupendously went out of their way to find these things. Issei had a tendency to just walk in on those types of situations. 99% of the time it's by complete accident, but it wouldn't be too much of a far cry to say he was a bit of a pervert. I miraculously found this spot during PE. Mitsuda excitedly said as the two were peeping. Hey, you two should probably get out of there, knowing your luck. Issei said while sighing. Shut up. Motohama screamed. He said that a bit too loud. Is there someone outside? Murayama shrieked as the girls covered themselves. Look what you've gone and done. Now let's go. Issei said as he tried to pry them off the wall. Back off. Mitsuda yelled as he pushed Issei back, making him stumble. Thud. Issei rubbed his head as he looked around. What the hell? Mitsuda, Motohama. He realized that his friends had all but disappeared and standing behind him was none other than all the girls from the kendo team. Oh, this was the kendo team's locker room, he thought while sweating bullets. You again? Murayama asked with annoyed expression. She along with many other girls had their bamboo swords. This is bad. Issei trailed off while stating the obvious. Wait, listen to me before you use me as your next practice dummy. He pleaded while making a shaky smile. Hi, do you pervert? The sound of our poor protagonist being heard echoed through the woods. After escaping with his life, Issei met up with Mitsuda and Motohama outside part of the old building of the school. They seriously hit me with their bamboo swords. He said with a sour voice. Unlucky for you, Issei. Motohama said. You left me behind for something I didn't even do. Issei snapped. Maybe I'd be better if I saw something, but you know how that works out. I mean I didn't even do it. Issei stopped in the middle of his sentence and for some reason turned around to see something. Red. Rather, beautiful crimson hair, blowing in the wind. It belonged to a young woman who appeared to be in her late teens with light skin, blue eyes, and a buxom figure. Mitsuda and Motohama turned around also to see her, after seeing Issei being captivated by her. She was looking down on them from a window in the upper floors of the building, before turning to walk away. So, there were actually people in the old schoolhouse, huh? Mitsuda wondered aloud. Issei was still captivated. That red hair is so beautiful. Oh? You like it? Mitsuda asked. Issei nodded with a smile. Red has always been my favorite color. So who is she? Motohama smiled as he adjusted his glasses. Ria's Gremory. She's 9958 to 90 and has been the president of the Occult Research Club for 3 years running. Rumor says her family comes from Northern Europe. Up in the school building, Ria's looked at a chessboard. On that chessboard were all the pieces. However, some of them were colored red. The king, queen, one knight, one bishop and one rook were all red. No, it would be more accurate to say they were glowing red. That kid just now, she started, as she continued to stare at her board. Behind her was an equally buxom young woman, with very long black hair tied into a long ponytail with an orange ribbon and violet eyes. She stood behind the couch Ria's was currently sitting in. Sorry? She asked. I mean the kid in the middle. Ria's clarified. The other girl went into deep thought for a moment. He's in class 2B. If I recall correctly, his name is Haidu. What about him? Never mind. I was probably just seeing things. Ria's then moved one of the pawn pieces forward on the board. Checkmate. The other girl looked down at the board in wonder. It was an easy problem. Ria said as she undressed, revealing her perfect body. I did raise the difficulty quite a bit, though. You did? I hope the next one will be harder. Ria said as she walked into a room and turned on a shower inside. Later that day, it was currently the evening and Issei was walking on an overpass. Man, school has been so boring. So much for transferring into this school. Issei complained. When he stopped, he realized someone walked to him. You're Haidu Issei-kun from Kuo Academy, aren't you? A girl's voice asked from behind. He turned around with a surprised face. Yes. I've never seen that uniform before. I wonder what school she's from. Issei thought. It was then he got a good view of the girl. She was around his age, was very attractive, had long black hair that reached her hips and had violet eyes. She sure is cute. She started. Can I help you? Well, Haidu-kun, are you seeing anyone at the moment? Not in particular. I'm glad to hear that. Would you mind going out with me? Issei's eyes widened. The girl continued, I've always seen you pass by here and well, I knew you were this girl has nice timing. Issei thought. Please go out with me. After accepting, Issei was walking home while nodding his head in approval. I may have been brutally beaten up by the kendo team, but I'd say this was a pretty successful day. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Slam. Issei brought his hand down on his obnoxious alarm. Damn thing, he groaned. Then he realized. He made a sinister grin. Wait till those bastards see this. What? Mitsuda and Motohama screamed with faces of true shock and horror. This of course was attributed to the fact that Issei was walking with his new girlfriend. This is Amano Yuma-chan. These are my friends, Mitsuda and Motohama. Issei introduced. However, his two friends seemed to be frozen in a perpetual state of shock. Literally, they looked frozen. Nice to meet you. Yuma said with a smile. Issei put on a victorious smile as he spoke to the frozen Mitsuda. And she's my girlfriend. Well, you guys should get one soon too. Let's go, Yuma-chan. Okay. She cheerfully said as she bowed to the frozen perverts. After Issei and Yuma had left, the two broke down. That traitor. Motohama screamed between sobs as Mitsuda was still frozen. Later that day, Issei and Yuma were chatting on the same overpass. A date? Issei asked. Yeah, on this coming Sunday. Or is it a bad time? No, of course it's fine. That's great. See you. She said. Alright, see you later. Issei said with a wave. She went to go run in the other direction, but then spun around with an excited face. I'm looking forward to our date. As she left, Issei made yet another victorious eye. 2 good days in a row, my luck is improving. He went home, but failed to notice someone was watching him from behind. It was a petite girl around 15 years of age with white hair and hazel eyes. She wore a black cat-shaped hair clip on each side of her head and was wearing the Kuo Academy's female outfit. She silently watched Issei leave. I see. As expected, your intuition was right on the money. It was now late at night and Ria's was in the club room while it was lit with candles. Next to her was the girl with black hair and in front of her was the girl with white hair. I made the correct decision by having you watch him. Ria said to her, to which the former nodded. But you, what would you like to do? Ria smiled. I'll make some preliminary preparations, but in the end, it all depends on him. She said so as she took a pawn piece off her chessboard and looked at it carefully. On that Sunday, Issei was standing out in a crowd for about 10 minutes. Geez, she's a bit late. He said that, but then someone put a leaflet in his hand. Please check us out. Said a strange-looking woman before leaving. Issei scratched the back of his head. I didn't mean to take one. He looked at the leaflet. It had a strange symbol on it, with the words we grant your wish on it. Putting it in his pocket, he noticed Yuma running towards him. Issei-kun. Good morning, Yuma-chan. Sorry, did I keep you waiting? Nah, I just got here a few minutes ago. And so, the day progressed rather normally. They went to places like a clothing shop where Issei bought her a pink wristband that she liked. For lunch they went to a family restaurant and Issei felt alive. It was really nice to get out with a girl like this. And all things considered, mainly his luck or bad luck at finding himself in situations, things were shockingly not going south. And before he knew it, the time was already evening. The two were walking towards a large water fountain in a park. This park in particular was a bit away from the town. Issei noticed there were no people at all besides the two of them. Yuma lets go of Issei's hand and smiles. It sure was fun today. Her back was facing the fountain. Hey, Ice-kun. There's something I want to do to celebrate our first date. Can you listen to my wish? Then, Issei made his biggest mistake. What is it? Yuma looked up at him and clearly spoke. Will you die for me? Eh? Issei looked confused, but also had his eyes half-lidded. Say that again. Will you die for me? She says as she begins to laugh. Flap. Issei was even more shocked when black wings appeared from her back. Angel wings. No wait, what Issei asked in almost a daze. He couldn't bring himself to believe it, but something inside him was nudging him, telling him it was indeed real. It was fun. The short time I spent with you. It was like playing house with a child. She said with cold eyes. I'll take good care of this gift from you. She referenced the wristband. But the sound that was foreign to Issei, something that looked like a spear made of light formed in her hands. Damn, now's not the time to be sitting ruined. Issei figured out as he jumped up. Before he take a step, he looked down and saw the spear running through his stomach. As he falls, the spear disappears and leaves a hole in his stomach. What the hell, Issei groaned. Yuma looked a little distraught for a moment. What the die? She then formed another spear and ran it through Issei twice, once through the chest and another through the abdomen. 3 hits to take out a human is unheard of, she thought. Issei's head got dizzy, his eyesight became blurry, and lost his balance as he fell to the ground with multiple holes inside him. Sorry. You were a threat to us, so we decided to get rid of you early. If you want to hold a grudge, then hate God who put the sacred gear inside you. Yuma said in a cold voice. With that, she left, leaving Issei on the ground half dead. Seriously? I'm gonna die because of something batshit crazy as this? What a tasteless death. Issei somehow gathered the strength to lift his hand and noticed the blood on it. Red like the color of her hair, like the color of fire. Her hair is so nice. Fire is also nice. Both are the same color that is coating my hand. Issei's mind seemed to be deep in thought between red, Ria's hair, and the color of fire. Shit, what am I saying? I can't stop thinking about them, even though I'm about to die. Man, my life was good, but there's so much I never did. If I could start over again. Issei didn't even realize it, but the leaflet in his pocket started to glow and eventually flew up into the sky as the symbol on it materialized. He mustered the rest of his strength and made a smirk. Man, how cliché. From that symbol, Ria's grimoire emerged. So you were the one who called me. Issei was practically dead now and couldn't move, hear, see or feel. Rather, he like a fire was burning inside of him. Looks like you're dying. Your wound, oh my, looks like something interesting is happening to you. So it's you, this truly is interesting. Finally, Issei blacked out. If you are dying, then I'll pick it up. Your life that is. From now on, you'll live for me. Wake up. Wake up. If you don't wake up, I'm going to kiss you. Damn alarm, Issei once again groaned. He woke up with a grumpy and distressed looking face. Man, that dream was something else. The dream? Wake up. Ice. His mother shouted from downstairs. I know. Issei replied as he got ready. Issei came downstairs to notice his mother in the living room, but his father was not there. Where's dad? Oh, apparently he had some trip for his work and had to leave early in the morning. I think he said he was heading over west into Europe. His mom explained. That's awfully weird for him to take off like that. Issei said with a perplexed look. Well, his job is a busy one. Oh, you should get going, Ice. She said. You're right, I'm off then. He yawned. During his walk to school, he felt the need to close his eyes from the sunlight. Geez, lately I've been starting to feel weak under the sun. It feels like the sunlight is piercing through my skin. He complained. The morning sunshine was doing nothing for him as he couldn't really wake up. It's been like this for a few days now and his mom has had to wake him up herself. Issei then looked at the ground. On the other hand, I've become more active at night. There's something inside my body that rises up and makes my tension go high. I've completely become a night person. This was indeed strange because he's often stayed up late before, but it was a miracle for him to stay awake past 1 o'clock. Now he can easily stay up until 3 or 4 o'clock. The feeling I have at night, it's something completely different than before. I don't know how to explain it, but my body feels pumped and I have a feeling something mysterious is rising from the depth of my body. He went out at night to test it and the result supported his case. The walking pace of his feet increased and his heart shook with joy when he blended in with the darkness of the night. He also was able to run much faster at night too. Honestly, it's a pain having school during the day now. Issei walked into Kuo Academy and stretched, now being out of the sunlight. Now then, even though this school was co-ed, the girls still help a vast authority rather than the boys, and the majority of students in the student council are girls. Their president was also a girl. He followed Mitsuda and Motohama to this school, as obviously they joined for the girls, all to no avail. He wouldn't deny the fact of him being a pervert. But it would be wrong to say that's the sole reason he came to the school. He and his 2 perverted pals had known each other for years and he wanted to stick with them. Damn this era. Harems just aren't common anymore. Issei yelled in his head. He made his way to his classroom and sighed in advance, knowing what was coming. Hey buddy. How was the DVD I lent you? It was some good stuff, wasn't it? Mitsuda was the one who said it. He was a sports boy during his time in middle school, where he broke many records, but he's in the photo club now. For better or worse, he's very open about his ambition of wanting to take photos of every part of a girl's bodies through the camera lens. He has been dubbed perverted baldy and the sexually harassing paparazzi. I didn't even watch it. Issei replied as his head hit the desk. The wind sure was strong this morning. Thanks to that, I was able to get a good view of the girl's panties. Motohama said while trying to be cool. Seriously, Issei thought Motohama was from the anime drag soapball. He had an ability, called Scouter, that lets him get the numerical values of the girl's measurements through his glasses. You saw this on display previously. His body was also special, where his power level plummets down when he removes his glasses. Even worse than Mitsuda, his nicknames were Perverted Glasses and 3-Size Scouter. But he seemed to take pride in the latter. The girls in the class looked in disgust as Mitsuda dropped a pile of erotic magazines and DVDs on Issei's desk. Issei slammed his head against what open space was left on the desk. Of course they'd react like that. You guys are the worst. Filthy brats. These were comments that they were used to hearing. Silence. This is our entertainment. Girls and kids should look away and keep away. Or else, I will rape all of you inside my head. Mitsuda shouted. Slam. Issei once again slammed his head against the desk and looked up at him with an exasperated smile. You're real smooth with the ladies, Mitsuda. Hey. Why do you have a face like that when there are so many treasures in front of you? Mitsuda suspiciously asked. You haven't been in the mood lately, well even less so than usual. Weird. It's definitely weird. You aren't the same as before. Motohama observes. True. I've been lacking energy lately. Issei said. Oh, could it be? The side effect of that hallucination about the imaginary girlfriend you have? Yuma-chan, was it? Mitsuda wondered. Do you guys seriously not remember Yuma-chan? Issei asked, to which he was met with sympathetic expressions. Like we said before, we seriously don't know her. You should really get a doctor to check you. Right, Motohama. Yeah, I'm going to repeat this again, but we weren't introduced to a girl called Yuma-chan. This was their usual response to Issei asking them for the last few days. It's not like it never happened, I surely remember it. Huh, weird. She's not even in my phone anymore. Issei looked out the window with a confused expression. As he was deep in thought, Mitsuda rested his hand on Issei's shoulder. Well, we are in the middle of our youth, so something weird like that can happen to us. Okay then, you guys come over to my place after school. Let's watch my secret collection together. That's an excellent idea. Mitsuda-kun, you should definitely invite Ice-kun as well. Of course I'm going to invite him, Motohama-kun. We are high school boys who move with sexual desires. If we don't do anything perverted, it would be disrespectful to our parents who gave birth to us. You had to give them credit for persistence. As they continued their conversation, Issei looked down at the schoolyard and noticed her. Ria's Gremory. Before he knew it, almost everyone in the class was staring at her as well. This was common for literally everyone to stop what they were doing just to look at her. But Issei felt a bit off when he looked at her today. For the first time, their eyes specifically lock, causing Issei to widen his eyes. This is the feeling of meeting someone superior to you. He thought. She narrowed her eyes and smiled. Ria's then continued to just walk away, leaving the faint smile on her face. After leaving school, the three indeed went to watch the DVDs, but Issei was completely not paying attention. Well, in the first place he never really cared for porno DVDs and usually just ignored it while he was with Mitsuda and Motohama, but today was more so than usual. He glances outside and noticed it was already past 10 o'clock. Motohama turned around and noticed Issei getting up. I already told my mom that I was going to be here, but she'll start to worry about me if I stay here any longer, plus school is tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys later. A few minutes after splitting from them, Issei once again felt his energy rising. His eyesight and other five senses all seemed to be improved at night. Issei frowned as he felt chills go down his spine. He sighed as he kept walking. To think I'm so special that someone wants to stalk me at this hour. He said with a wry smile. Despite saying that, his body was shaking as he noticed someone ahead of him. A man, wearing some trench coat. He was fiercely glaring at Issei. Is this killing intent? The man silently walks towards Issei. This is rare, to meet someone like you in a place like this. He said with his head covering his face. Is that a fedora he's wearing? Issei thought in shock, oblivious to the situation. Issei starts to back up with his increased speed. Oh, that's right. I might die. He noticed. Trying to run away. Who is your master? It must be a person with a very low rank or with a weird hobby to choose this place as a territory. So, who's your master? Step. Issei turned around and sprinted away. I'm fast as hell. He thought as he ran with superhuman speed. After a long 15 minutes of running, he appeared in an all too familiar spot. This is the place I came on that date, Issei muttered. He froze as he felt chills once again. Issei spun around to see a black feather drop in front of him. Did you think I'd let you escape? That's why lowly beings are a pain to handle. The man said. Issei looked at him and sighed. I guess Motohama was right. Never trust a guy in a fedora. Rather, the same goes for cosplayers. Wait. Stop thinking about this, Issei. Tell me the name of your master. It's a hindrance to get bothered by your kind. For that, we will wait. Are you a stray? If you have no master, then that will explain the worried expression on your face. The guy mumbles to himself. Issei remembered how he was killed by Yuma in that dream. Boy, was he ever feeling deja vu. HMPH. I don't feel any presence of your master nor your comrades. I don't see anything that is trying to hide its presence either. And there's no magic circle appearing here. According to the current situation, you are a stray. So it won't be a problem if I kill you. The man says as he raises his hand. Then, something that looks like light begins to form in his hand and form a weapon. A spear in particular. Issei quickly fell on his behind and just barely dodged the spear's thrust. Never thought my luck at falling would save me. He said as he scrambled to stand up. Stab. Blood dripped out of Issei's mouth before he knew it as the spear pierced his stomach. Issei's eyes widened though, as the pain that followed far outweighed the stabbing. He fell to his knees as a burning sensation covered his body, inside and out. Issei moaned as he tried to pull it out, but it ended up burning his hands. The man walked over to him and formed another spear. It must hurt. Light is poisonous to beings like you. Getting hit by it will result in fatal damage. I thought this weakened spear would be enough to kill you, but your body is tougher than I thought. So, I will hit you with it again. But this time, I will put a bit more strength into it. Now you are done for. Dune. Not even a second after the man went to finish him off, an explosion occurred in front of him. He looked in surprise as his hand was bleeding and had smoke coming off it. Don't you dare touch him. A woman says. Issei started to double over on the ground from the pain, but not before he realized who the person's voice belonged to. Crimson hair, you must be a woman from the House of Gremory, the man says while glaring at her with hatred in his eyes. My name is Rias Gremory. How are you doing, fallen angel-san? If you are trying to hurt this boy, then I won't hold back. The beauty with crimson hair declares. Dufu? Well. So this boy belongs to you. So this town is also part of your territory then. Well then. For today, I will apologize. But I advise you not to let your servant loose. People like me might slay him while having a walk. Thanks for the advice. This town is under my surveillance. So if you get in my way, then I won't hold back. I will say the same to you, heiress of the House of Gremory. My name is Donasik. I hope we won't meet again. He says as he begins to fly with his black wings, but not before sending another glare to them. Apparently being in the safe now, Issei looked over to Rias with a weak smile. Ara, are you about to faint? This is certainly a fatal wound. It can't be helped. Hey, where is your house, Rias says, as Issei loses consciousness. I will kill you if you don't wake up. You will be cut into pieces if you don't wake up. Crash. Issei slams his hand onto the alarm, breaking it. Ironic. Yes. Funny. No. He complained. It was morning now. Another bad dream, huh? Issei started to stretch and get up when he realized his clothes were missing. What the heck is this? Is my memory already going on the brink? That's when he realized his left hand was under the sheets, touching something. Mew. Issei wondered as he felt something soft. A sweet voice was heard. Issei very carefully turned his head to the left. Su. There was a crimson-haired girl sleeping beside him. And she was naked. And his hand was groping one of her breasts. Oh, it's just Rias senpai. Wait a moment, Issei trailed off. He took a deep breath. In times like this it's best to count prime numbers, right? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. This wasn't working. Issei was sweating bullets as he put his hand under his chin. So I wake up next to Rias senpai, both of us naked. I'm groping her huge oppai. That's when he heard the last thing in the world he needed to. Ice. Wake up. It's already time for school. The voice came from his mother. Then it was followed by footsteps coming up the stairs. The footsteps carried the sound of anger. It was different from her usual footsteps. Oh, mom's on her way. Mom's on her way. Issei accidentally yelled. Issei was panicking more about his mom coming rather than waking up next to Rias. Wait. I'm already awake. I will get up now. He said. Geez. I won't forgive you anymore. We need to have a little talk about this. Oh boy, she's pissed. Issei noted. Is it morning? Rias says while wiping her eyes. Ignoring the situation, Issei sent a goofy smile to her and waved. Oh, good morning. Atcha. The door bursts open. At the same time Rias also lifts her upper body up. Issei and his mother's eyes meet each other. She looked pretty damn mad. Good morning. Rias greets her with a smile. His mom then moves her eyes to Rias and back to Issei. Get ready quickly. With a robotic voice, she closes the door slowly. After a silent moment, the two heard his mom dial the phone and head down the stairs. Otu-san. CE, sex. ISDID with a FOREIGNER. INTERNATIONAAAAL, ISTID. Their voice couldn't be heard after that, but they had a pretty clear idea. Your family is quite lively in the morning. Rias says as she walks over to his desk to pick up her uniform. Issei was silent as he looked at Ria's body in all its naked glory. Now would be a good time to have Motohama's 3-size scouter, he thought. Rias turned around to see Issei strangely nodding his head while closing his eyes. She smirks. If you want to see it, then go ahead. Rias contained a giggle at his reaction. Issei dropped to his knees and bowed. Thank you for the feast. It should be self-explanatory what feast he was referring to. She started laughing once again, obviously amused by his reaction. So, she starts. How is your stomach? You were stabbed yesterday. At that statement, he became fully alert. That's right, I was stabbed by that man at the park last night, but there's no injuries here. Was it a dream? Issei wondered aloud. It wasn't. Rias quickly answered. I was sure I was wounded. I healed it. It was critical, but thanks to your tough body, it was healable with my power in a night. I shared some of my demonic powers with you by embracing you while we were naked. I was able to do it because we are from the same clan. Ignoring the whole demonic part, Issei grinned. So does that mean it's alright, I'm still a virgin? Buzzkilled. Well, Issei for some reason was relieved actually. Don't make such a weird face. This world is surrounded by more mysterious things than you can imagine. Ria said while walking towards him. She gently patted his cheek, causing Issei to get a little flustered. I am Ria's Gremory. I am a devil. What? Issei asked in an almost monotonous voice. And I am your master. Nice to meet you, Haidu Issei-kun. Can I call you Ice? She said, with a devilish smile. Ida Dakamasu. Ria said. Issei was closing his eyes and making a wry smile. Grandpa, I've made you proud. Currently, Issei, Ria's and the former's mother were in the kitchen. These are very delicious, Akasama. Ria's politely complimented. Why yeah. Thank you very much. Issei's mom responded. While she was preparing it, Issei explained how his father had left a few days ago on a business trip. Issei had his hands behind his head and was staring at the ceiling. Talk about a weird atmosphere. Ice, it's the meal that Akasama made. Eat it. Ria says with elegance. Alright. He responded as he started to eat it quickly. Issei for the first time in his life truly felt totally embarrassed. As I thought, I'm losing my cool around her. Don't eat it in such a vulgar way. Eat slowly so you can taste the food. This is the precious food that Akasama made for us. She said while wiping his mouth with a handkerchief. Ice, his mom muttered. It was apparent she was nervous and she also noticed her son being unusually nervous. Where did this lady C come from? She asked. Ria's put her chopsticks down and bowed her head. Oh my, I apologize for not introducing myself. I brought shame to the house of Gremory. Please allow me to introduce myself. Akasama, my name is Ria's Gremory. I attend the same academy as Haidu Issei-kun. It's a pleasure to meet you. Is that so? That's amazing. Hahaha. Are you from a foreign country? Your Japanese is very good. Yes. Due to my father's work, I have been living in Japan for a long time. A few more silent minutes passed until Issei's mother seemed to realize something. Is Ria-san correct? Yes, Akasama. What kind of relationship do you have with Ice? Issei froze at that statement. Neither of them noticed it, but he was sweating bullets in his seat. We are just a senior and a junior who are quite close to each other, Akasama. Ria's answered. That's a lie. She immediately rejects. Well, Issei tried to intervene. Because. On the bed. His mother rejects. I said he has nightmares, so I was just sleeping with him. Ria's answers again. Just sleeping together. Both of you were naked. Nowadays, people sleep naked when they sleep together, Akasama. His mom went quiet. Is that so? So people sleep together naked lately? Issei exclaimed. Then he noticed a weird look in her eyes, like she wasn't fully conscious. Ria's whispers in his ear. I'm sorry. It looked like it would become troublesome, so I used my power. Oh, the whole devil thing. Forgot about that. Issei said while shrugging. The real problem came when he was walking to school. Rather, it was him and Ria's walking to school. Such a thing was causing him to get looks from just about everyone. Why is someone like him? Why is someone vulgar like him next to Ria's Onasama? He was getting comments along those lines as they entered the school. Actually, he got a pretty good kick out of it when a few girls fainted just from the sight. Ria smiles. I will send someone to get you. Let's meet again later. Right, bye. Issei awkwardly replied as he headed to class. Seriously? Ria's made him a nervous wreck. And he just couldn't figure out why. As he entered the class, bang. Bitsuda delivered a blow to the back of his head. Give me an explanation. He cried. Until yesterday, we were the unpopular alliance comrades. Ice, first of all explain it to us. What happened after you left? Motohama said with sharp eyes. Issei crossed his arms and made a weird laugh. This might have been the slight bit of Junibu that Issei had in him. You fools, have you ever seen Rilapai? But that decisive sentence, Issei won the argument. After school had ended, Issei was walking out of the classroom when he turned into an empty hallway and noticed someone trying to hide behind a corner. He silently looked at the person, who happened to be a girl. Oh my, you noticed my presence, she asked, turning around. It was Yumi, the princess of Kuo Academy. And she smiled at him as she walked in his direction. She was trying to hide like a spy or something. She quickly dashed to him with superhuman speed and smiled again. Cool, he said in awe. I know, right? She replied. Then, a crowd of students passed by and all the guys seemed to go nuts with seeing her. Ignoring them, Issei spoke. So, what do you need? I came here by the order of Ria's Gremory senpai. So just follow me. That was when the crowd of students started protesting. No, for Haidu and Yumi-chan to walk besides each other. You will get infected, Yumi-kun. Your reputation sure precedes you. Yumi said with a giggle as the two begin walking away. Hey Ice. Motohama shouts. What do you want? Issei shouts back. What are you going to do with this DVD, me, the molester, and the Uden? He screams while holding it up high. Issei just made a bitter smile as he left with Yumi, causing the latter to laugh. As they were walking, Issei turned to Yumi. Say, you're pretty badass. I really am awesome. But that isn't everything I know. Seriously. Yumi then spins around and makes a teasing smile. I know everything from assassination techniques to perverted techniques. The perverted ones too, Issei asked with shock. Yumi started laughing again. Just kidding. You're a pretty straightforward and interesting guy. Issei scratched his head and made a serious face. I thought I was a pretty normal guy too. There's definitely something strange about you. Yumi thought with a sweat drop. Finally, they arrived at the old school building which was surrounded by trees. Apparently it was used a long time ago and there was no sign of people there. It was so creepy that it was listed in one of the 7 wonders of school. Butchu is here. Yumi says. The Cult Research Club. Issei says, reading the sign on the door. Butchu, I have brought him. Yumi said from outside the door with a more polite tone than earlier. Yes, come in. The two enter, shocking Issei. There were weird signs and words in every area of the classroom. The one on the center of the floor stood out the most. There were also a few sofas and desks in the room. On one of those sofas was a girl with a small build, the one who was watching him the other day. Issei recognized her right away. She was quite popular amongst a certain groups of guys. She was also popular amongst the girls as well and is treated as a mascot for being cute, Kaneko Taoju. The girl silently ate yakin on the couch, adorning a sleepy expression. Basically, she was the emotionless type. She noticed Issei and Yumi entering the room. This is Haidu Issei-kun. Yumi introduced. Kaneko bows her head silently. Oh, nice to meet you. Issei said, also bowing. Then he noticed the sound of water flowing. It was a shower. He looked around and noticed a corner that led to a shower. The shower stopped and he heard another voice. Butchu, take this. Thank you Akeno. Issei realized that Rias must have been changing back there, causing him to think about this morning. It's not like he didn't enjoy it. Hell, he would have rolled with it had his mother not gone apeshit on him. What a lecherous face. Kaneko mutters while eating her yakin. That girl has a dangerous level of awareness. Rias then walked out of the shower uniform with her hair wet still. I'm sorry. I couldn't take a shower last night because I stayed the night at your place, so I took a shower now. Before he could respond, he noticed someone else walk out. It was the girl with a very long black ponytail. She smiled at Issei. Her name was Akeno Himejima. Her and Rias were called the two great one-isamas. Ara. Hello, my name is Himejima Akeno. Pleased to make your acquaintance. She says. Issei Haidu, nice to meet you. After Rias confirms everyone was introduced, she began. Looks like everyone is here. Haidu Issei-kun. No, let me call you Ice. Why yes. We, the Occult Research Club, welcome you. Yes. As a devil. Issei looked out the window with an awkward smile. Mom, Dad, Grandpa, I'm definitely in for a fun ride. Issei sits on one of the sofas next to Yumi as Akeno hands him tea. Ah, thank you. It tastes good. Ifufu. Ara. Thank you very much. Akeno, you sit over here as well. Rias orders. Yes, Butchu. Then, everyone looks at Issei. I will get to the point right away. We are all devils. Rias says. Well, you sure did get to the point quick. Your expression says that you don't believe what I am saying. Well, that can't be helped. You did see the man with black wings last night, didn't you? You are right. And you said it wasn't a dream. That's a fallen angel. They are former angels who served God, but they are beings who have fallen to hell because they had evil intentions. They are also the enemy of us devils. Issei's head drops. I've entered a video game, haven't I? Wait, wrong series. We, the devils, have been at war with the fallen angels since ancient times. We have been fighting over the possession of the underworld, which is also known as hell in the human world. The underworld is split into 2 areas, one for devils and one for fallen angels. The devils form pacts with humans and receive their sacrifices and increase their strength. The fallen angels on the other hand control humans to eliminate devils. At this point the angels come in to destroy these 2 races on God's orders, which creates the 3 forces. This has been going on since ancient times. Rias explains. Really, Issei says as he looked in thought. If you're wondering, the Occult Research Club is just a camouflage. It's my hobby. It's actually a gathering place for us devils. Issei hums out loud. Mano. She existed. For certain. Rias confirms. Issei looked up at her with a slightly surprised face. Well, it looks like she tried to erase all of the evidence around you. Akeno pulls out a photo showing Yuma. This is her, right? Amano Yuma-chan. Rias asks. Yeah. This fallen angel came in contact with you to accomplish a certain goal. After she accomplished it, she got rid of any record and evidence regarding herself. Goal? Yes. To kill you. Issei clicked his tongue. Why did she have to do that? Calm down, Ice. It couldn't be helped, no, you were just unlucky. There are possessors who weren't killed, Riaz tells him. Unlucky? That day, you went on a date with her and then went to the park where you were killed with a spear of light. But I'm still alive. More than that, why was I targeted? The reason why she approached you is so she could check if there is a dangerous thing inside you. She must have received a weak response from it. That's why she took her time checking you. Then she confirmed it. That you were a human who possessed a sacred gear. Where have I heard sacred gear before? Issei wondered before remembering Yuma said it before killing him. Yumi then turned to Issei. Sacred gear is an irregular power that is bestowed to certain humans. For example, most of the people whose names are recorded in history are said to be possessors of a sacred gear. They used the power of their sacred gear to record their name in history. Presently, there are people who possess sacred gears within their bodies. You know those people who play an important role worldwide. Most of those people possess a sacred gear. Akeno follows up. Most of the sacred gears have functions that are only usable in the human society. But there are exceptional sacred gears that are a threat to us, the devils, and fallen angels. Ice, raise your hand. Riaz continued. Do it quickly. Nodding, Issei lifts up his left hand. Close your eyes and imagine the strongest thing that comes to mind. The strongest being. Son Goku from Drag So Ball. No wait, there's. Interrupting him, Riaz spoke. Then imagine it, and imagine that person in a particular pose where he looks the strongest. Issei started to think about something. Lower your arms slowly and stand up. Now mimic the pose of that person. You have to imagine it strongly, okay? You cannot hold back. Issei started sweating bullets as he spoke in super quiet voice. That's pretty embarrassing, you know. Then again, the ability to reduce everything around me to nothingness would be pretty chaotic. I'll go with Kamehameha. He thought. Hurry and do it. Issei then realized something. He honestly had no shame. If you want to see it so bad, here it is. Issei Haidu's first and last time doing Kamehameha. He declared. This wouldn't be the last time. Kamehameha. Issei yelled as he did the pose. Nothing. He wasn't looking, but Akeno and Yumi were giving him extremely bitter smiles. Now, open your eyes. In this place which is filled with demonic power, the sacred gear will be able to appear more easily. Riaz orders. As he does, a large flash surrounded him. What? What is this? Can I do Kamehameha now? I'm a fucking super saw. Then the light materializes and makes a red gauntlet on his left arm with a green jewel on it. That's a sacred gear. And it belongs to you. Once it appears, you can use it anywhere and anytime as you will. Riaz explains. Lame. Issei says. Riaz squeaks in surprise. Issei sighs. I was expecting something that would make me some overpowered harem protagonist. His uni side was taking over again. Everyone aside from Kaneko got a good chuckle out of it. I'm sure you'll come around to it since it is yours after all. Someone disliking their sacred gear is unheard of. Anyways, the fallen angel, Yuma Mono, saw your sacred gear as a threat and therefore killed you. Issei looked at his gauntlet and tilted his head. This thing. A threat. Man, oh man. Oh wait, that still doesn't explain one thing. Issei says. She killed me. How am I alive? You called me when you were on the verge of death. I was summoned through this paper. Riaz says while pulling out the leaflet Issei had in his pocket. The leaflet had a magic circle on it, the same one that was on the floor of the classroom. This is one of the leaflets we give out. This magic circle is used to summon us devils. These days there aren't many people who would draw this circle to summon us. So we give these leaflets to people who look like they would summon devils. This magic circle is safe and easy to use. That day, one of our familiars was disguised as a human and was handing them out in the business district. You got it at that time, Ice. After you were attacked by the fallen angel, you called me while you were on the verge of death. You wished so hard that it summoned me. Usually my servants like Akeno and the others would be the ones to be summoned. Riaz explained. Issei remembered the final two thoughts in his head before he died, Riaz and her hair, along with some fire. When I was summoned and saw you, I knew right away that you were a sacred gear possessor and that you were attacked by a fallen angel. But there was a problem. Ice, you were on the brink of death. Not just devils, but humans also die if impaled by a fallen angel's spear of light. Ice, you were in that kind of condition. So I decided to save your life. I guess I owe you a thank you then. Issei said with a smile. Although, as a devil. Ice, you were reborn as a devil of mine, Riaz Gremory's servant. As my servant devil. So a thank you is not needed. Then, Issei felt something sprout from his back. He looked shocked as the same happened to everyone else. They were bat wings, much different from those of the fallen angels. The devil, huh? Issei asked with a smile on his face as he looked at his wings. You don't seem surprised. Riaz noted. It's not that I'm not surprised, rather I think it's pretty cool. Issei answered. Let's introduce everyone anew, Yumi. Yumi winks. My name is Yumi Kiba. As you already know, I'm a second year like you, hi do Issei-kun. I'm a devil too. Nice to meet you. First year. Kaneko Taoju. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm a devil too. Kaneko bows. My name is Akeno Himejima and I'm in third year. I'm also the vice president of this occult research club. Nice to meet you. Even though I'm like this, I'm also a devil. Yufufu. She says, also bowing. Lastly, Riaz waves her hair. And I'm their master as well as being a devil from the house of Gremory, Riaz Gremory. My house holds the rank of a duke. Let's get along from now on, ice. Ring. Ring. The phone rang in the back of the car. Issei's father was the one riding in it. He sighs as he picks it up and adjusts his glasses. Yes. Yeah, of course I realized. I guess so. I've actually had my eyes on them for a while. I realize the others have started to look for them. Yeah, it would be dangerous if they fell into the wrong hands. I mean, they were quite the force back in the day. They were total battle maniacs. But on the other hand, that tendency probably is what drove them to extinction. I know. Geez, don't get so snappy with me. Anyways, how is? Oh? They met a long time ago. Why would I be concerned? He's in good hands. She's the little sister of the current Mao. And what about him? Well, he's my son too, after all. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support the Zavaritia for writing that awesome fanfic and also make sure to comment on this story. See you in the next video. Goodbye.